Well, the Democrats got caught cheating to win the White House. Now, I call it cheating because they ignored the Constitution, they sidestepped state legislatures, and they recruited private enterprise to run and fund county election offices. Yes, of course, I'm talking about Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook and those strategically placed drop boxes, right? From the left's perspective, it was all brilliant, masterful, really. The concoction of a battleground mail-in ballot scheme allowing everyone under the sun, including dead people, by the way, to have their votes all go to Joe Biden. Now, in our quest to fix the rigged mail-in ballot system and return voting back to pre-2020 norms, the Democrats are insisting conservatives are, what else? Here we go again, but racist.
This is the end of democracy in America. This is the beginning of the South Africa strategy. This is minority rule. This is saying we will rule over the objections of the majority of the American people.
Well, of course, folks, that is MSNBC's lead race baiter, Joy Reid. She is upset about Georgia passing a series of bills aimed at securing election integrity. She's also upset that Republicans are sounding the alarm about H.R. 1. We talk about it all the time on this program. It is an overreaching, unconstitutional bill moving very quickly through Congress right now that would make mail-in ballots the norm. They want to institute automatic voter registrations and put all control over elections in the hands of the federal government. You want Nancy Pelosi in the House running your elections? I don't think so. Their bill isn't making it about easier to vote. It's about making it easier to cheat.
What Republicans are saying is they're going to make it torture for you to vote in line by having fewer machines, beat up machines, places where in urban centers, places where black folks live, suburbs where black people live, make it impossible or torture for you to vote in line. And then they're going to make it impossible for you to vote by mail.
Torture to vote in line? Come on. She knows that's a lie. And do you see how even the words have changed with the liberals? It used to be called absentee ballots, right? If you're traveling away from your voting precinct, you could request an absentee ballot. Nobody's calling it that anymore. They call it a vote by mail ballot, where the laziest of people can sit home and vote while not missing one game of Fortnite in their mom's basement. Yet every county clerk, even Democrat clerks, by the way, will admit voting by mail is ripe for fraud and abuse. We witnessed it firsthand in 2020, and still, this is what we get from the mainstream media.
As a matter of fact, this is a solution in search of a problem. There is not widespread fraud in this country or in the state of Georgia, and yet we have 43 states pursuing similar restrictions on voting.
What I would like to know is how could he make that statement? The media has never, ever investigated it, all right? It's also not true, his statement, because I found at least 8 convictions right there on your screen for voter fraud in 2021 alone, from forging signatures on absentee ballots to using absentee ballots to vote twice. And that's just people that have already been convicted this year. Most cases of voter fraud from 2020 have not been adjudicated yet. To claim it as a matter of fact that there was no widespread fraud is a claim that cannot be made. And a recent Real Clear Politics investigation conducted by John Lott found Missoula County in Montana was ripe for mail-in ballot fraud. This straight out of the article. 4,592 out of the 72,491 mail-in ballots lacked envelopes in Missoula County. 6.33% of all votes without an officially printed envelope with registration information or a voter's signature, and a postmark indicating whether it was cast on time. Election officials cannot verify that a ballot is legitimate. It is against the law to count such votes. Well, guess what? They were counted anyway. And John Lott and his Real Clear Politics team even found 28 mail-in ballots from the same address, a nursing home, all where the 28 signatures looked, quote, exactly alike. That, folks, is just in one small county in one state. And the discrepancy was enough to flip local state house races where the margin of difference was just a few hundred votes. You see, Democrats want this to become the norm because for many of them, Cheating is the easiest way to victory.